So if we ever got a remote.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you joining us. We have Coach McCall here. We'll begin with an opening statement from him in a moment, and then we'll open it up to questions. If you have a question for Coach, please use the raised hand function, and we'll go through the process that way. So, Coach, whenever you're ready, thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, I was really impressed with our response just after what transpired on Sunday, and to have a quick turnaround and come on the road and play a conference game after only playing two games. I thought we responded the right way. I thought we were getting really good shots to start the first half, and the ball was moving. And what I said to the team at the half was we had 3 assists in the first 4 minutes of the game, or first 3 minutes of the game. And we ended up with 6 at the half. So we had 6 assists for the last 17 minutes of the first half. And then the ball movement in the second half was just tremendous. Their token pressure, I thought that their pace won out in the first half, and I thought our pace went out in the second half, and that was really the difference in the game.
We'll start with questions, beginning with Howard Herrmann.
Matt, before we talk about the game and get into other things, but the job Cairo did coming off the bench, 7 points, 9 boards in 23 minutes. You were telling us that you're expecting things out of him. Your thoughts on his performance?
I thought he was great. Cairo was obviously missed some practice time there, and he had an illness that wasn't COVID, and he was dealing with that going into really our first couple games, and didn't get as much practice time as we would like. But he's an energy guy, he's an athlete, and his ability to go up and get the board, get rebounds like he does, we needed to utilize him, and we need to continue to utilize him. I was very, very proud of not only him, but Dibaji as well. Dibaji and Cairo's energy coming off the bench today was just tremendous and through the roof.
All right, up next is Nathan Strauss.
Coach, not to ask the obvious question here, but Trey Mitchell, one of the highest scoring games in program history, up into 4th place in all of the NCAA in scoring per game. What did you make of his performance today, particularly his shot selection?
I thought we did a great job of establishing him on the block. First and foremost, the ball went into him. They did not double team him, and he was able to operate down there. And that's, if a teams aren't going to double him, then he needs to lead us in shot attempts, no question. That's just how good he is down there with his back to the basket. And when teams do double team him, it's going to open up everything for everyone else on the perimeter. But he was terrific. I mean, he was outstanding. Coach Bergeron was a little critical of him with only not having an offensive rebound, but we shot 48% from the field for the game, 40% from the field, and some of the moves he made, some of the catches, he gets down there, the ball's being thrown up in the air to him, and he's got 4 or 5 bodies draped all over him. For him to go up and finish the way he does, I don't know how many and ones he had, but he drew 10 fouls, and that's impressive. And I'll say it again, he's one of the best, if not the best, big man in the country.
One of the things that you talked about yesterday was how Salle were going to be playing physical. We saw a lot of that physical play, a couple of maybe no calls. How do you think you guys responded to that physicality?
I thought we responded well. I thought their tempo press was what caused us a lot of problems in the first half. And, then we started to just get immediately into a side ball screen and roll Trey to the basket and get a fill behind shooter behind him. And that was simple action, but it allowed us to play faster on offense. I thought the pace of play for us on offense in the first half, it's almost like we were coming across half court versus their press and just tried to pull it out and run a play every time, when just a simple pick and roll, get him rolling to the basket, get Carl or Dibaji or whoever fill him behind, dump it inside and play. It's a simple game. And I thought we tried to complicate it too much in the first half and played much better in the second half offensively.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, up next is Kyle Grabowski.
It hasn't been the best start to the season for Carl. What was it like to just see him come out and find that stroke early relief? Like, what did you just get out of seeing him play the way he did?
Listen, the shots, the threes that went in the basket, I was extremely happy for him. But the loose ball hustle plays that he made, he dove on the floor in the first half for a loose ball. Cairo comes up with it. He dives on the floor for a loose ball in the second half. Huge, huge play. Comes down, drills a 3. Carl's all about the right things. I was so happy for him to see how him put it all together But it wasn't just the ball going through the net. We know he can do that. It was the impact that he had on winning just through the hustle plays that he made that, he's put his heart and soul into this program for the last 4 years. And those 2 plays to me epitomize that.
It's one of those plays you mentioned kind of with like 5 minutes into the second half that really seemed to spark you guys get going.
Over on the floor for a loose ball. We came up with it, came back down on the other end and hit. I mean, that's demoralizing for the other team when you make those level of effort plays, it's just, it is, and that's how you win games. I told the team before the game, conference games are won with your effort. And that's exactly what won us this game today.
All right. Up next is Freddie Hanna.
Hey, Coach, how are you? Obviously, with Trey getting off such a good start in this game, what do you think was different from this game to Northeastern, kind of him finding his groove early?
I think we did a good job of finding him, like I said, getting him established on the block. They weren't double teaming him, going to him early, getting him touches with his foot in the paint. I'm shocked no one's asked me about Noah Fernandez yet. Okay, the floor general game that Noah played today is 11 points. He's 3 for 6 from 3. He has 9 assists, 1 turnover late versus their press, and 5 steals. I mean that is tremendous, And if you can get, Noah and Carl and Trey clicking on one night, but we have so many weapons. Tonight it was Carl from the perimeter. Tomorrow night it may be TJ from the perimeter. The next night it may be Dibaji. That's team basketball. But we did a great job of establishing Trey early and Noah to come out of this game and have 9 assists, 1 turnover, and 5 steals to go along with 11 points. I mean, he almost had a double-double. And then 5 steals is, outstanding.
And then just, I think lastly, obviously Trey's probably trying to go for 40 points at that last kind of couple minutes, and then he unselfishly passed it off to Cairo. What does that just speak to kind of Trey overall, just a player on the court?
Oh, his unselfishness is what makes him so special. But don't ever try to throw a lob with a lead late in the game versus a press. I told him that in the locker room after the game. We were kind of like, what in the world was that? But Cairo's an athlete. He was able to catch it and finish it off.
Thanks, Coach.
Next is Joey Aliberty.
Hey, Coach. Kind of piggybacking off of what you said about Noah. So I think in the first game he had a 5-0 assist to turnover. Then in the loss he had a 1-5 or a 1-4, something like that, and then a 9-1. And you just talk about assist to turnover ratio being a key. Would you say it starts with him and just how he controls the game?
I think it starts with him. I think it starts with Javon. Both of those guys being our primary ball handlers out there on the floor tonight. I didn't think Javon, obviously, he scored a lot of points his first couple games. And tonight, I told him, too, after the game, the play where he made, I think we had like a 14, 15-point lead. He dribbles across half court versus their press. That would be easy to force the issue here. He dribbled it out and got us set and got us back into offense. And I think that just shows a level of maturity right there as well. So, we need those 2 guys to control the game. And I thought, 9 assists and 1 turnover for Noah. I mean, he had 5 assists and no turnovers, the first game and only played 13 minutes. But he picks his spots offensively. He was extremely effective with that. The couple threes that he hit in the second half were momentum boosting shots.
Up next is Howard Herrmann.
Matt, you stole my question about Noah, but talk to him about the job, not just the job he did, but coming off a game on Sunday where he wasn't particularly effective, had as many turnovers as he did assists, and for a young guy to come back that way, what does that say about his makeup?
Noah's a winner. He's all about the right things. He wants to be coached. He wants to be pushed. He impacts the game in so many ways. I think because of his character, early on, him coming to UMass, he wasn't nearly as vocal as we need him to be. And that's completely changed. And he's a Massachusetts kid that's got a lot of pride in playing for his home state school. And I couldn't be prouder of him.
Up next is Cal Grabowski.
You had made a big deal about the pace and getting the pace to your game. I know you guys weren't up a ton at the half, but did you like the way that the game was being played and think that you'd be able to kind of stretch that out and get it to where you wanted it to be?
Kyle, I didn't like our offense in the first half. I thought we again were trying to overcomplicate things. We got the ball into the front court and we're trying to always run a play when we just needed to be simple and attack that press. And so I didn't like our offense. I thought we were playing way too slow, and I thought that completely changed. But again, we had 3 assists through the first 3 minutes of the first half. We had 3 assists through 17 minutes to close out the half. We end the game with 19 assists. So we had 13 assists in the second half. That's outstanding.
Up next is Cam from WMUA.
Hey, Coach, I know we're talking a lot about the shift from the first half to the second half, and you're talking about changing pace of play. What was the actual message to the team at half? What did you kind of say that changed things?
Just not overcomplicate, their tempo press. Get it across half court, simple ball screen, play. That was really the message to try and change just the tempo of the game. Was even Flash and Trey in the middle of their tempo press, let him go into a wing pick and roll right away, roll him to the basket, simple action, get a shooter, fill him behind. I did think Javon and Noah were being more aggressive just off the ball, attacking it too. We got some open shots. Dibaji hit a big one in the corner in the second half. We were just being too passive. And then when we got into the front court, we tried to run a play every single time, and we just should have just attacked the score.
You mentioned Dibaji Matt. You mentioned Dibaji. What did you kind of see out of him? Kind of a little bit of a breakout so far this year for him to get some minutes and get some baskets under his belt.
Dibaji probably deserved to play more versus Northeastern. He, defensively, his energy. Again, this is early, right? We're still trying to figure out our rotations. I know I wanted all 11 scholarship players to go into the game in the first half. And I think because of our depth, because of our talent, it can be a different guy's night on every single night, especially from the perimeter. We have that level of depth. So, but Dibaji's energy, you put him up there in the front of the press. He's always active. His rebounding, he plays hard. He plays with a lot of passion, and he showed that with signs last year. And I was proud of his response, having not played a ton and just again through the first two games trying to figure out our rotations. But when you can bring energy guys off the bench, it just completely lifts your team.
All right, we got time for 1 or 2 more. We'll go with Joey Aliberty.
Yeah, the snow's coming down really hard, guys. We're trying to get back to Amherst.
I'll make it quick, Coach. I just want to get your thoughts on the possession where Cairo had 2 offensive rebounds, and then right after Dibaji had the offensive rebound. Obviously, you guys didn't score, but I just want to know what you thought about that possession and the effort shown.
Plays like that are demoralizing for the opposing team. Dibaji and Cairo's athleticism in those moments. You would love just to be able to hit a 3 there because of the effort on those plays. But it was the unselfishness too. Like that was the play. I think I was misquoted there, but when Carl dove on the floor in the second half with the loose ball, we got it. We come down, gets swung to him. He dumps it into the post to Trey. It wasn't a 3-point shot. He dumped it into the post to Trey and goes and scores. Those plays are demoralizing. That's making the right play. That's being unselfish. Our guys were skying up there to get offensive rebounds and throwing it out, and we were getting wide open shots. That's how we have to play. And there's so much firepower. It's got to continue to be about the team.